Welcome back. You're still watching the Afia Morning Show, and good morning once again, and thank God it's Friday. It is, of course, the 26th day of September 2025 for the IPOB leader. Today appears to be Judgment Day, and of course, for lots of Southeasterners here, that's a big one. That's big news. Atiku is here as well. How are you doing? Good morning.
Yeah, I'm still here. Good morning. How are you doing? Thank God it's Friday finally. Yeah.
It's Big Friday, isn't it?
Big Fridays, and also the milestone is meant to be set today.
That's right.
If Mazina the Kano is going to be freed
or not.
Not.
I mean, yesterday you did end with the show being Tuesday. Today in Audrey's calendar is Wednesday.
Well, I don't know what I was thinking about the way Tuesday and Thursday. All this sounds like they're the same thing. But then again, yeah.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Thursday.
No, Thursday. Okay, of course, we're joined all the way as well from Rivers by Dr. FYNEFACE Dumnamene. He is the Executive Director, Youth and Environmental Advocacy Centre. Thank you so much, Dr. FYNEFACE, and happy Friday to you. It's quite catchy. It's when I cut on. Happy Friday to you, Dr. FYNEFACE.
Thank you very much, Natalie, and good morning to you as well. Audrey, good morning. Nice to be part of the program this morning.
Good morning.
It's so nice to have you. I mean, Dr. FYNEFACE, a lot of interesting headlines here. So much politics. We're seeing Ada, we're seeing ADC, we're seeing Jonathan here and there. So let's get right into it. We'll begin with the Daily Monitor. Resign from other parties, ADC directs members. Federal government reiterates commitments to renew Nigerian economy, restore hope. Tinubu ended career stagnation in parliamentary services, according to Minister. Moving on straight now to Vanguard. Why apathy dogs voter registration in Southeast and South-South? Traders laments as Lagos government demolishes 19 buildings at Trade Fair Plaza. Tinubu promotes over 52,000 paramilitary officers in 2 years, according to Interior Minister. DMO offers 200 billion naira FGN bonds for subscription. Masap others reject Tinubu's oil resumption in Ogoni. ADC to members quit other parties now. Blackout averted as electricity workers shelve strike after federal government intervention. 2026 WCQ, more worries for Chile as Onyedika suffers injury. And straight to Nigerian News Direct, Ibadan sets for historic coronation as Ladoja ascends as 44th Olubadan. Lasema handled over 13,700 disasters in 17 years, according to PS. World Maritime Day, Nigeria's blue economy underfunded, according to the NEMASA DG. Ogoni groups reject Tinubu's directive on oil resumption. Electricity workers down tools over unpaid wages, welfare failures. On Daily Trust, ahead defection, Kwankwanso in talks with Nentawi. Olubadan, Tinubu, Atiku, others for Ladoja's coronation today. Jonathan meets ADC chair David Mark. 3 children found dead in father's car in Borno. Man allegedly kills grandparents in Kano. Insecurity, Katsina to procure 5,000 cartons of ammunition. Japan scraps Africa hometown initiative. Security operatives rescue 9-month-old others in Kwara. And on The Guardian, economic recovery. Nigeria not broke, but deep fiscal concerns linger. 2027 ADC leaders scramble to fix deep rifts as opposition coalition nears collapse. Over 6,000 lives lost to religious ethnic conflict, says Plateau governor. 2027 Ganduje, Jibrin, others vow to retake Kano for Tinubu. A blackout averted as electricity workers suspend strike. And of course, lastly here, new study links poverty, transport woes to worsening health in Lagos.
Daily Times. Nigeria targets $22 billion trade growth with China, backs global governance plan. Global cancer toll to rise by 61% in 2050, says report. Tinubu prioritizes rapid promotion in paramilitary services, says Minister. Sokoto government declares free education, suspends collection of fees. Troops dismantle several terrorist networks, kill scores, says DHQ. court to rule on DSS bid to represent rejected exhibits against Dasuki, October 14. And lastly, on the Daily Times, equities market rebounds as ASI adds 0.31%. Investors gain 279 billion naira. The Whistler, Magu seeks inclusion of anti-corruption studies in education curriculum. Says individuals can't win war against corruption. Backs Forensic Institute Fellowship Award. Nationwide blackout as electricity workers shut down operations. Accuse TCN management of handling staff welfare with kid gloves. Tinubu calls for global debt courts to free nations from bondage. Says debts relief, trade access key to global peace. Your reforms addressing long-standing upstream gaps. Tinubu hails NUPRC's Como Lafe at 62. 283 billion naira allocation. Probe ex-Rivers Sole Administrator. Adeyanju tells ICPC. Frank asked Tinubu to suspend YEAC over alleged U.S. property. Katsina government sacks 3,488 staff over salary fraud. FG issues flood alert for 69 locations across 15 states. NUPRC approves Total Energy's $510 million deal with Shell. Ajib. Lastly, on the Whistler, Catholic congregation dismisses outspoken Reverend Sister. The Matrix. 2027, plot against Tinubu thickens. Tension as Jonathan holds closed-door meeting with ADC stalwarts. It is a meeting of Nigerian people against oligarchies and oligarchy, whose promotes poverty, insecurity, says Atiku. Otedola tightens grip on first hold CEO with fresh 2 billion naira shares acquisition. 44th Olubadan Ibadan Agog as Oba Ladoja ascends throne today. Oyo State government please issue travel advisory ahead of coronation. Makinde cuts vacation short to attend ceremony. Nigeria attracted no oil investment for 10 years before Tinubu, says Lokbobiri. Nationwide blackout threats. Minister wades in as electricity workers suspend strike. FBI places $10,000 bounty on Nigerian linked to U.S. identity theft. Moving over to the Punch. 2027 presidency. Coalition demands Atiku obeys full membership. APC others push back as coalition directs members to abandon parties for ADC. 804 billion naira arms imports ignite calls for local production. Southeast governors pushing for Nnamdi Kanu's release, says Oti. Niger Delta militancy made Jonathan's presidency possible, says Ateke Tom. And Ovon Fire Forces Delta Lagos Atlanta flight diversion. 6 hospitalized as Lagos seals collapse 2-story building. Marketers fault Dangote's 500,000 litre fuel delivery threshold. And this one says right here that Ladoja sends Olubadan throne. You can catch that on the Punch right there. Nigerian Tribune, 2027, we will stick to ADC. Mark, Atiku, Amaechi, others resolve. Reject ADA. We will strengthen APC for Tinubu in Kano. Ganduje Baru, others pledge vow to unseat NNPP. Tinubu ended career stagnation in paramilitary service, says Tunji Ojo. Glasgow Investment Summit, Edo government secures $250 million deal. Nationwide blackout looms as electricity workers get directive for industrial action. And lastly, right here, Lagos recorded 112 building collapse incidents in 7 years, says BCPG.
All right, thank you, Oji, for those headlines. Dr. FYNEFACE, I think since it's all about the elections, let's talk about what actually leads up to the elections. And of course, that concerns the voter registration exercise. And in the Southeast and South-South, we're seeing INEC data revealing shocking apathy with regards to the registrations, as the states are trailing, just following rather loosely other states in the West. What do you think is accounting for the low interest in registering during this exercise compared to other areas and regions in Nigeria. Some analysts are blaming it on lack of trust in the system. We're seeing the PG of Ohanaeze coming out to also try to get Southeasterners to come out and register. We're also seeing what the Arewa Consultative Forum is doing on their end, of course, for the West. What is your take? What do you think is contributing to this horrendous turnout?
Thank you, Natalie. I think the horrendous turnout we are having now in relation to the voter registration is the fact that enough sensation and awareness creation wasn't done before the INEC rolled out the process. So because we never had that very robust awareness creation, sensitization of the people before the time that the exercise commenced, that is why you are having this very poor turnout. In addition to that, I also think that the people are beginning to lose confidence in the system, considering what happened in 2023. So they are beginning to see that even when they pass through the process to get registered and prepare to vote, that there is still the tendency that their votes wouldn't count. So that is making them not to really come out for this purpose. And a lot of people who come out for this purpose, like we normally see very serious voter apathy during election, is because they just want this government-issued ID card for their transaction, banking transaction, and other purposes. But I think that if they can sustain the awareness being created, I've seen INEC in some states, going on the street and talking to people, they need to sustain that process. And I do not think INEC should be the people to do that. But even if they are doing it, civil society organizations should be engaged to also carry out these processes. Opinion leaders should be engaged to carry out these processes. Imams and pastors should be engaged to carry out these processes. Traditional rulers should be engaged to carry out this process because INEC is not trusted to a very large extent. And unless the people that the people trust are those talking to them, it will be difficult for us to have the people listen to them and then carry out the instruction that they are giving about them going to register to vote in the 2027 general election.
Is this a case of awareness or precedent set by INEC? People actually call INEC now a political party, making their decisions after the voters have voted. They make decisions on their own who they want to, give all those titles. Is it a case of awareness here, or what has happened in the past and the present?
Yeah, OG, I think it's a combination of both awareness and the precedent of what has happened in the past. And that is why they have to try as much as they can to ensuring that they are combining different methodologies to use and convince the people to come out and vote. But if they fail to really be able to do that, then a lot of people will be disenfranchised in 2027.
Right, Dr. FYNEFACE, lots of people beyond just the issue of trust, they're also saying that INEC is yet to come out and openly explain what happened with the BIVAS and IREV that they committed to use at the last election. That because INEC has not reconciled those differences or offered any clear explanation, they're not ready to take INEC seriously. So it's not just a case of ephemeral or perceptual trust, it's a case of what INEC is physically not doing to convince voters that they want to do things differently this time. To what esteem of accountability, or to what level of accountability rather, do you hold the electoral umpire at this point?
Yeah, I think to a very large extent, the electoral umpire needs to be held accountable, and they need to explain to Nigerians what happened to the BIVAS during the 2023 general elections. And their failure to do so is and must not be unconnected with the reason why we are having very poor voter turnout now under this registration exercise that is going on, because the people are yet to know what happened to their vote then. So if INEC can come forward, explain what happened at the time with the BIVAS and why their vote never counted the way they expected, then they may be encouraged to come out and vote. They should also try and reach out to the politicians who are just playing for power in 2027 to come out and talk to the people. But INEC has so much to do to build confidence in the people, because over the years, based on the activities and actions of INEC, the self-respect of INEC and the respect that people have for INEC has evaporated to a very large extent, and they need to take steps to redeem their image before the Nigerian populace.
That's right. Oji,
okay, I want to ask, will this actually instill confidence in people? The change of the INEC chairman, because it's imminent, by the way. Definitely a new INEC chairman is going to ascend the throne very soon. Would this actually be, a kind of a lead way instill confidence in the populace.
When you say ascend the throne, it looks as if the chairman will become the president himself.
Well, I don't want to dabble into wagging tongues right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think it will rebuild the confidence in the people, because a lot of people, as we speak, have lost confidence in Yakubu, in the conduct of the election, and whatever is coming out of INEC at this time. So another way to rebuild the confidence of the people is to have the current INEC chairman to exit that seat, and then a new person that is neutral, more accepted by the Nigerian people, appointed to man the saddle at INEC. And then that person can begin to talk to Nigerians, telling Nigerians to forget the past and that he's going to make some changes that will bring about their vote counting. And for this reason, they have to go and cast their votes. They are part of the transition that is about happening in 2027 in such a way that their vote is going to count. And whoever emerges as the president of Nigeria, they can beat their chest to say, yes, I contributed to making this person to become president, governor, state assembly member, or national assembly member by casting their vote. So these are some of the things they can tell the people. And I believe that the new INEC chairman, when appointed, which should be done as quickly as possible so that the person can sit down, carry out some exercises, rebuild hope of the people and confidence of the people in INEC before the election time in 2027.
All right, so still on 2027, we're seeing major headlines, and we'll connect the two. On the Matrix, 2027 plot against Tinubu thickens tension as Jonathan holds closed-door meeting with ADC stalwarts. On the Punch, still on the 2027 presidency, coalition demands Atiku Obi's full membership. APC others push back as coalition directs members to abandon parties for ADC. And of course, we know that those members of the coalition have fully stated their compliance with ADC and not the ADA. Dr. FYNEFACE, how would you connect the political sphere ahead of 2027 now? Jonathan's closed-door meeting, demand for Obi and Atiku to join fully, and of course, the plots against Tinubu.
Thank you. I think it's a welcome development, and it is important for those people who want to run election on the platform of the ADC to resign their membership of whatever political parties they are still clinching onto and focus on the ADC. Because I do know that in some constitutions of political parties, they do have a timeline between which a candidate would have joined the party before he qualifies to become a candidate of the party. So if the individual fails to join the party within the time frame that it requires, to be a member of the party before he can run on the party platform for whatever position he or she wants to go to, then it may be an issue. I know that for them to have quick solutions in the ADC, they are waiving a lot of things for members. So I think those who are having the mind of running on the platform of the ADC should resign their membership of other political parties, at least this period that is still about 2 years to the 2027 general election, but less than a year to party nomination processes, so that we know that they have been members of those parties, begin to learn the constitution of the party, the ideology of the party, and then prepare for the election ahead. While those who are not running for any offices can still remain in their political party and then continue supporting the ADC. Because we have seen that pattern of politics played by the FCT minister and former governor of Rivers State that said he is supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu but not supporting the APC. But we know quite well that he's an PDP member but supporting a candidate of the APC. And that happened right from while he was in Rivers State, and it's still happening in Abuja currently. So I think only those who want to run on that platform should bother more about resigning as the party have instructed them to do and being a member of that party, and then have other members who are willing to also resign and join them. While those who are willing to support the coalition without resignation should continue to be in their party, because I don't see that affecting their support for the ADC when the time comes.
Beyond the resignations, the closed-door meeting between, of course, Jonathan and ADC stalwarts has also generated tension. Are you tensed, Dr. FYNEFACE?
No, I'm not tense at all, because we've told former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan before that if there is anything he forgot in Aso Rock, maybe President Bola Ahmed Tinubu may help him bring it to him, that there is no need for him to contest the election in 2027, because to a very large extent, the same forces that made him not to become president in Nigeria in 2027 are the same forces that we still have. Nothing has significantly changed. And I do not see him running on the platform of the ADC. I do not also see him being able to run on the platform of the PDP and winning the election. So I think what he's only doing as an elder statesman is to discuss with them, have meeting with them when they invite him, give them advice, guide them. That doesn't mean that he hated or does not like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but as an elder statesman and former president of Nigeria, he has to be the father of all. Anybody that invites him for advice, he needs to give it to them. But I do not see him taking up any tickets for president in 2027 on the platform of the ADC. We are hearing from the grapevine that he may be running on the PDP platform. All of these are still in the open, but denials are there, but I know consultations are also ongoing. But let's see what happens. I alarm the plot against the removal of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027 is thickening, and it is going to be in the south because a southern person should replace him. This is what we are looking at, but I do not see Jonathan, running on the ADC platform or posing any serious threat in terms of being able to edge out Atiku Abubakar or edge out Peter Obi on the platform of the ADC come 2027.
But do you see these whole meetings back and forth with Goodluck Jonathan, these stalwarts, that stalwarts, more like a consultation or a convention, knowing fully well that it's now, it borders around trust, right? We know that, yes, he can only do 4 years. He's been president before, right? And he can only do 4 years. Other than an individual promising that he can do 4 years, but he's eligible to 8 years. Do you see this more like a consultation, as you stated, as the father of the nation, he should be at this point in time, giving advice on things that's meant to be on ground and all that? Or this is more like a conviction, trying to convince him to come run for the next presidential?
I think I see it more as a consultation and not a way of convincing him to run, because already the platform of the ADC is saturated with people who are jostling to become president on that platform. We have Alhaji Atiku Abubakar eyeing the ticket of the ADC in 2027. We have former governor of Rivers State, Right Honorable Amaechi, eyeing the ticket of ADC in 2027. We have former governor of Anambra State and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023, Peter Obi, eyeing the ticket of the ADC in 2027. So I do not think that Goodluck Jonathan will be the fourth on the line of eyeing the ticket of the ADC in 2027. I see it as more of consultation. And again, we know quite well that even the PDP is trying to have Jonathan to come forward, because already the constitution will bar him automatically from renewing his tenure when he gets to office after 4 years. But then those other people that are promising 4 years, the tendency that they may want to seek re-election, trying to tell Nigerians that they are qualified, is there. But the point here is that we have the gentleman agreement that zones power between the south and the north. This is the time of the southerners. So anybody coming from the south and going there should be genuine enough to say he is going to stay for the 4 years remaining to complete the southern tenure. I trust, Peter Obi more in terms of his promise of staying 4 years. I trust, Right Honorable Amaechi more in terms of keeping to the promise of 4 years, because if they get there and they're trying to say that they are now in power, they have all the resources, they have the security, they have INEC, they can manipulate the systems to stay back in office. The same measure and challenge that was used to edge out President Goodluck Jonathan in 2015 is the same thing that will be used to edge them out. So the possibility is there. What I see in Nigerian presidency is, it is not the political party you run on to become president. It is not the political party that gives you ticket, but it is the person that the system wants. The moment the system wants you, if you like, form the political party today, come on that platform. If the system wants you, the system will throw you up and you will become the president of Nigeria, governor or state assembly member, or anywhere that you want you to be. Remember what happened in 1999? We had APC, PDP at the time that came into power. I think we also have, the ADC also. No, not ADC. There's one other party that was there then.
AC.
Action Congress was also there.
AC.
But AD, yeah. So once the system needed former president, former president Obasanjo to come forward, they went to the prison, brought him from the prison, packaged him, put him on the platform, and he became president of Nigeria. So Nigerian presidency is more of who the system wants and not necessarily the party platform that you come on. If the system wants you on any party you showcase on, you will become president.
Okay.
Go ahead, Oji.
There's something I need to ask you, right? Does something make you cringe about Atiku Abubakar? The way he's indirectly campaigning and positioning himself for 2027, knowing fully well the gentleman agreement that power still is meant to remain in the south. But he's going around, indirectly campaigning and positioning for presidency come 2027. Doesn't that make you feel some type of way that at this point in time still a person, you know, like Atiku Abubakar, that is meant to be also be a father of the nation, giving directives and advice on how to carry on and all that stuff, is positioning himself still indirectly campaigning come 2027 to be president?
I think the issue is that people don't want to face reality. As it is today, the gentleman agreement that zones power to the south and north is stabilizing. It has started stabilizing across the country. We are seeing that when a northerner leaves, a southerner comes in. As we speak, power is in the south. So Atiku Abubakar just willing to become president is only trying to repeat what he did on the platform of the PDP in 2023, whereby he knew quite well that power was zoned to the south and power has to be in the south. When President Goodluck and President Muhammadu Buhari of black memory was leaving office, and he came on the platform, edged out the FCT minister, and contested to be president. And the system knew quite well that power had to go to the south at this time around. And they supported President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to become president. That is what Atiku is coming to do at this time again, by trying to battle for the ticket of the ADC to also run. He will also use this opportunity and edge out Southerners that would have been able to compete and maybe take over from the current Southerner that is currently on the seat. So I think that what Atiku needs to do is to give chance to either Peter Obi or Right Honorable Amaechi to run on that platform for the single term of 4 years that they have committed to doing when they get to office, to complete the tenure of a Southern president. If he fails to do so, then what he is doing is to simply deny the opportunity of another Southerner attempting to take off from another Southerner and supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to return to office in 2027 and be in office in 2031 when the Northerners are going to take over from the Southerners.
All right, Dr. Fineface, I mean, thank you so much for your analysis, but we also need to look at a story that didn't seem to make the boldest headline on any of our dailies this morning. IPOB leader Mazi...
They left on the side.
They left on the side, right? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to receive his ruling today. It is Judgment Day for the IPOB leader. We're going to know or if he's going to continue to be tried or if he's going to be dismissed. As you know, his counsel has filed a no-case submission, and now the judge is ready to deliver his ruling on that no-case submission today, the 26th day of September 2025. What do you think, Dr. Fineface, are the possibilities of today's judgment?
Yeah, the possibilities of the judgment of today are that, one, on the one hand, there is a tendency that the courts may not grant that no-case submission that has been filed by lawyer to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There is a tendency, in fact, the chances of the court not granting that ruling is like 70%. While the possibility of granting the ruling to say Nnamdi Kanu has no case is like 30%. So I don't see anything significantly different from what we normally see from the court system coming out of today's ruling. So the tendency of him being free today, by virtue of that ruling, is very, very slim to me. I don't see that, really happening, because we have seen the body language of the presidency, we have seen the body language of the judiciary, we've seen what has transpired over time, and I believe that they are insisting of ensuring that he faces trial to the letter. And if that is the case, I think there is nothing to celebrate yet about the ruling that we are expecting today, but it's just a ruling on no case submission.
Right.
And that doesn't mean that everything about him will be struck out and then he can go free today. But let's see, and we pray that it happens in that direction and he's today free, so that jubilation can come everywhere. The jubilation coming everywhere today may also contribute to more people going out to register to vote in 2027.
I mean, I like that you tied it to that ripple effect as well, because a lot of things happening in the southeast, even in Imo, the cases of insecurity and other areas as well have been linked to this continued incarceration. So we do have that ripple effect, and it's great that you pointed that out, Dr. Fineface. Thank you once again for joining the show this morning, and we wish you a pleasurable day ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Audrey. Have a nice day ahead.
You have a good one. Bye.
Have a great one.